Okay, so the video on how to find roots of a quadratic. Okay, so if your equation happens to be in standard form, so say we had y equals x squared plus 7x plus 12, one way to find the roots could be to factor. And then we can find the roots from factored form really easily. So this equation is a simple trinomial. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to 12 and add to 7. All right, so our strategy is let's figure out numbers that multiply to 12. Okay, we got 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Do any of those add to 7? Yes, this guy does. Okay, so let's factor it into two brackets. So we got x plus 3, x plus 4. So it's factored. So now we're trying to find the roots. What's another word for roots? X-intercepts. What happens at the x-intercept? Y is 0. So instead of saying y equals, let's make that 0. Okay, and then we know if we have two things that are multiplied together and they equal 0, one of them has to be 0, or both of them are 0. Okay, so let's set them equal to 0. So we got x plus 3 equals 0, or we got x plus 4 equals 0. And I'm just gonna solve this equation. So I'm gonna subtract 3 from both sides, which gives me x equals -3. So that's one of my roots. And on the other one, I would get x equals -4. Okay, awesome, so I have two roots. So that just means, here, a quick sketch. That just means, oh, wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that just means if I was graphing it, my parabola would go through -3 and -4. I put those really close together, so it's super hard to tell. And I know from my a value being positive that my parabola opens up, so my parabola is gonna look something like this. I don't know where the vertex is, but there you go. Okay, so those are our two roots from factored form. Okay, next step.
Want me to send mine?
Okay, we got an equation in, we got a complex trinomial. So we got to factor this guy, but it's way harder. Okay, so now we have to find out two numbers that multiply to -24 and add to -5. Okay, here we go again. What are all the numbers that multiply to 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Okay, can any of those make 5? I'm thinking this combo. 8 and 3, that seems promising. And since it has to multiply to a negative number, I know one of them are going to be negative. And it has to add to -5. So I want the bigger one to be negative and the little guy to be positive. All right, so with those two numbers, I'm going to replace that guy. So I have 2x squared plus 3x minus 8x minus 12. Now I'm going to chop it in the middle, and I'm going to common factor each half. Okay, I can only common factor out an x, leaving me 2x plus 3. And from the second half, I'm going to factor out a -4, leaving me with 2x plus 3. Note, it would be a plus sign here. Since I factored out a -4, it's like I took -12 and divided it by -4, leaving me with +3. So that's why it's a +3 in there. All right, now since my brackets are the same, I'll factor out 2x plus 3, leaving me with x minus 4. Okay, factored, done. So now I'm going to set my y value equal to 0 since I'm trying to find the roots. And I'm going to set each bracket equal to 0. So 2x plus 3 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. Now I just have to isolate x. So this one's easy. X equals 4, so that's one of my roots. And the other one, a little trickier. So if I get rid of my 3, I'll have 2x equals -3. And then how would I get rid of this 2? How about I divide by 2? Divide both sides by 2, so I get x equals -3 over 2. So those are my two roots. So that's how you find roots from standard form. You could factor and then set each bracket equal to 0. So that's one way to do it. I think I'll stop there and I'll, yeah. Okay, awesome.